right.
KP Video News, y'all.
You know who it is. You know who it is.
KP Video News, y'all.
That's right. You know who it is. I think you better know. Better know who it is.
Right.
That's right, folks. It's time for KP's Video News. I'm doing a little something different today. And, I'm just going to come to y'all with a few stories here. And you got to understand, man, we all going through life and, with being cooped up in the house or whatever you want, however you want to pronounce it or say it. And people are getting a little bit out of shape, man. We're getting a little bit out of pocket. And I've been talking to some people, man, and they really going through some things. And they just sitting at home and they just like, man, I just got into a big argument with my old lady, man. I'm like, oh, man, hey, what happened, man? I said, man, my old lady went off on me this morning. I'm like, oh, yeah? Well, hey, I really don't want to hear about that, man, because that's whatever happened between y'all is between y'all. He said, man, but you got to hear this, man. He said, man, my old lady went off on me this morning about toilet paper. I said, what, toilet paper? She said, yeah, toilet paper. I said, well, what happened? He said, man, I was in the kitchen eating breakfast. She came in the kitchen with the toilet paper roll in her hand and just said, I don't know who you think you are, but you need to leave my toilet paper alone. So I said, well, hey, don't y'all live in the same house? How is it her toilet paper any different from the toilet paper you use? He said, well, it ain't nothing about the toilet paper itself. It's just she went off on me because I had the toilet paper going over the top of the roll. So I'm like, well, what's the problem? He said, she likes the toilet paper going on the back side of the roll coming down. I'm like, oh, no, man, wait a minute. I don't even want to get into this. He said, yeah, man. I said, well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to tell you the way I told my kids. If somebody comes to you and they give you an argument like that, it ain't the toilet paper, partner. It is not the toilet paper. Y'all got some more issues you need to work on. It ain't the toilet paper. It is not the toilet paper. Think about that and get real with it, because the toilet paper is not the problem. Get to the heart of the matter. Hey, man, it's like, hey, we live life, we just stressing each other out. People all stuck in the house together, stressing each other out, going through the motions and just trying to feel, because let's think about it. You've been going to work from 9 to 5. Your wife been going to work from 5 to 9 or whatever. And the kids been going to school in the morning. Now, the kids are at home. Your wife is working from home. You working from home. Everybody's in the house 24/7. And you just like gnawing at each other's nerves. Getting on each other's nerves, man. The last nerve. So you sitting there and, you just sitting there watching TV. And all of a sudden out of the sky blue, why are you breathing? What? Why are you breathing like that? Like what? Like that? Like what? How? What am I doing? You just breathing. Getting on my last nerve, breathing. Damn, you mean tell me now I can't breathe? What's really going on up in this house? What's going on? Got folks out there can't wait to get back to work just so they can get away from their family. Like, well, we supposed to be family. We are family. Come get this wife and kids away from me. Oh, man, we just out there tripping, I'm telling you, man. Tripping. I can't even turn the news on anymore. I can't turn the news on. When I turn the news on, man, I lose it because it's so crazy out here today. It is so doggone crazy, man. We got people doing stupid stuff. Real stupid stuff. It's like some of the things is just so crazy. I mean, you didn't already hear about all these mass foolishness going on out here, man. People just doing all this crazy stuff. But it's society, man. Society has been pushed. We have been pushed. And now it's like people are going at not only it's like before it's be like, okay, you point the finger at somebody, you say something, you do something, or whether you cuss them out, you go on about your business. These days it's starting to get a little bit violent. So as a result of that, I try to avoid people at all costs. It's like you can't even make eye contact with people when you're riding down the street, man. Don't do it. Look the other way. Don't do it. Look straight ahead. Because if you make eye contact with them, the fool might just pull out a gun. You never know. So just don't do it, man. Just eyes straight ahead, full speed ahead. Light turns green, full speed ahead. I'm out of here. You know, you got to do what you got to do, man, to survive. You know, it's real easy. It's real easy. Have you ever really just taken a look at yourself and realized, and this is what I did the other day. I took a look at myself and I said, well, I think I'm an okay guy, you know. All right, I'm okay. I ain't perfect. And then I thought back at a time in my life when I was in a relationship, and the person that I was in a relationship with, I finally realized that person was probably one of the best people that I ever dealt with. I mean, the woman treated me good, and I wasn't worth 2 dead flies. That's when you know you got a good person. When you ain't worth a shit, and the person you're dealing with still deals with you and puts up with you, then you know that person really truly loves you, and you should, in return, love that person back. It's all about respect and just treating people good. Treating people good, man. You know, hey, we've all been in those kind of relationships where one person is giving 75% and you only give them 25. We've all been in those relationships. But the thing about it is when you look back and you think about the relationships that you passed or the ones that you walked away from, and then you say, well, hey, man, that person really had my back. But you don't really understand that until it's all over with. It's over and it's done. And you went your separate ways. Now you're sitting there crying in your Cheerios trying to figure out what happened. You know, it's like, what did I do? You know, what did I really do to deserve that? But, you know, you say, what did you do to deserve it? But what did you do to cause it? You never know. You got to look back and you got to think, take your time. That's what communication is all about. Communication is just that. It can't be a one-sided communication. You know, I can't come to you and I know something's wrong, and then you're sitting there like, I ask you, hey, baby, what's wrong? And you say, nothing. Baby, I know something's wrong. What's wrong? Nothing. That's not communication. That is not communication. That's miscommunication. And that's what causes problems. It's those little tiny, little small, little petty little things that take us from point A to point B all the way to point Z real quick. 100 miles per hour real fast because we don't take the time to talk and think and solve the problems that we have. We got to solve them. Don't just try to gloss them over, you know, because, you know, you go through the glossing over process. It's like, okay, you got a problem, you gloss it over. Next week you got another problem, you gloss it over. Next week you got another problem, you gloss it over. And in a man's mind, hell, that's the same problem. But in a woman's mind, that's like 3 different problems. But to me, it's all the same argument. It's the same argument. If we have an argument every week, that's just one long argument. That's not 3 different ones. That's just one big one. So men and women look at things differently. You know, we just do. You know, it's just, that's just part of life, you know. If you have a person that compliments you and that treats you good, stay with them. If that person respects you, stay with them. But when that person starts disrespecting you, as you go out and you go say, well, we're going over to somebody having a picnic in the backyard, a little backyard cookout, let's go. You get ready, you get and got dressed, you ready to go to the cookout. Man, you get to the cookout, then all of a sudden, You wouldn't believe what that motherfucker did this morning, last night, and the night before last. Now that person is telling everybody in the family about what you've been doing. That's disrespect. Taking the problems of whatever we doing in our house, outside of the house, and throwing it up and giving it to everybody else. Telling your girlfriends, telling your homies about all that personal stuff. That's disrespect, man. You just can't disrespect people like that and expect for them to still stick around. Because, you know, yes, you're running them off. They're not just leaving you. You're running them off. You're chasing them away with that negativity and that false bull. Chasing them away. Chasing them out of their happy home. If a person can go to work that 9-to-5 job, put up with all the crap that goes on at work, put up with all that traffic on the way back home from work, only to get home and be disrespected at home, why is it necessary for that person to go home? So it's like, hey, that's just the way it is. You know, you got to think about it in those terms. If that person leaves and they never come back, most times, 9 times out of 10, it's your fault because you disrespected that person and you made them leave with your petty nonsense. That person ain't going to change. I don't know why you think that you can change them. They're not going to change. If you met that person and it was a certain way, they ain't going to change for you. Why should they change for you? If you look at it in that picture, it's like, well, I thought I could change him, her, whoever. I thought I could change them. No, stop thinking that. Just go ahead, live your life, and let that person go on about their business, because you trying to dictate how that person should or shouldn't live, that's stress, man. We don't need no more stress in our lives today. We got enough stress thinking about COVID. We got enough stress thinking about all these white supremacists out here trying to shoot and kill people. We got enough stress worrying about waiting on your coronavirus check to get there. When is it going to come? When is it going to arrive? We got enough things to think about. We got these kids pulling our hair out because they stuck in the house. They don't even know how to go outside and play. The kids don't even know how to play anymore, man. They got classes nowadays to teach kids how to play. Come on now. You got to teach kids how to play. What's really going on? Kids don't even know how to go outside. Guy comes by the house and he got his kid with him. And we in there, it's like it's all adults in the house. I'm like, hey man, go outside and play. 20 minutes later, we go outside and say, well, let's go see what little Johnny is. Little Johnny's sitting on the porch crying. Like, what you doing sitting on the porch crying? How come you ain't out here playing? I don't know how. Man, I'm telling you, man. They got classes. They literally have classes, man, to teach kids how to play. And you wondering why your kids are like 400 pounds, man, at age 12. Because all they do is sit around and eat and play video games all day, and they ain't outside getting no fresh air. Put them out. Get your little ass out of here. Go play. Go play. Go run around in the backyard. Maybe you might lose a few pounds. Oh well, this is KP's Video News Comedy Hour today, and I'm going to move it on. Keep it pushing, folks. Gotta keep it pushing. I thought I'd do something a little bit different. Peace.